All right, we have a guest here. Did you know that Feral Audio is a whole network, Jeff?
You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah.
I thought we were the only thing on Feral Audio.
No. We're part of a fucking union of brothers and sisters.
Well, that sounds like
who
bullshit.
represent the cutting edge of unpaid comedy types. And here's another member of our family, Mr. Brody Stevens.
Yeah. You know, thank you for having me here, Dan and Jeffrey. I am wearing a hat. I just flew in from Toronto, and I was able to wear kind of a knit cap thing. It was cold there. Yeah. So I was bringing the energy of Toronto with me here to Meltdown.
What's the Toronto scene like? Is it like a Seattle in the north?
You know, you would think so.
From the hat.
I mean, well, there you go. Well, it was cold. I mean, I would say it's like more. I mean, it's like Buffalo. Obviously, it's near. It's near. They share the Niagara Falls. I learned about that. I've been to Vancouver, but I've been to Toronto a couple times. It's like America, you know. I was doing shows last night, and I think they are. It's just a little different up there. You know, it's like it is America, but it's not. Right there. I like Canadian comedy audiences. I think Canadians have an awesome sense of humor. I think they're quite game, especially yeah. I'm not ripping Canada. No, Brody, you were fucking shitting all over Canada. Let's be honest about. No, okay. No, I'll give you, like last night I was doing a show in a club, an underground pot club. What? It's a comedy club. There's like 6 clubs up there where it's like they smoke pot, they do shows.
Underground meaning not legitimate, like secret speakeasy?
Kinda, yeah, but the cops like let it go. But they have a big comedy scene up there for that in Toronto, so I was doing a show last night, and they're smoking pot in there. And I've done shows where they smoke pot at the Ice House. I've been there. And I know we're at podcast live audience. I'm going to focus more on the podcast.
Oh, good.
That's my thing.
Well, I think they were left out of the foot fetish stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have a foot fetish. I mean, one time I did something with a sock. I think one time, a girl's sock.
I don't know on the tree of foot fetishes. Like because I'm a heavy duty leg man and like a nylon guy, and because the leg terminates at this beautiful part of the equally feminine part of the feminine leg.
You love legs and you love terminus.
But there's there's a branch of the whole, like the foot. When you say foot fetish, it gets into like I want someone to walk in chocolate and then walk on my face and masturbate me with their toes and I want to eat the toes when you put the other toe in the butt and stuff. And I'm not that focused on the foot. It's just like the foot is a beautiful little period on the sentence that is a woman's leg.
I got called out for looking at a girl's foot in 9th grade. I remember it vividly. I grew up here in the Valley, San Fernando Valley, and she was like, an 80s, I'm not going to say like a stoner's chick, but she smoked cigarettes. And I remember I was like looking at her feet. She was, why are you looking at my feet? And I was just like, just into it. I was really, I don't think I need the dipped in chocolate. I like looking at them. I would do what you said with the feet on the penis. I'm okay with that. When I was in high school, like late high school and early college, my friend Chris, he would have these parties, and his father was a sheriff. And they were awesome because we went into the parents' room one time, and there was tons of bondage gear, like lots of fucking chains and whips and strap-ons and all kinds of good like get it on kind of shit. Between like late 40s husband and wife, they didn't care that we would have these parties and everybody would get naked in their jacuzzi and everybody would suck each other's toes. We call it shrimp jobs? Shrimping? Shrimp jobs. We called it shrimp jobs, which made the unsexy even less sexy. But we would all suck each other's toes, and it was good fun. Because in the jacuzzi,
you're all boiled up. You know, you're all like all the pathogens have been cooked off.
If you're gonna suck a toe, you should.
That would be the spot to do it.
A pool of hot water would be a good place to get started. I think.
Where does when you're looking at feet on the internet, like what is what's going on through your mind? Like what's the fantasy that's happening?
I'm looking, and I just like it doesn't go beyond that. A fetish is like it's like the object itself is like this thing that's more important than anything, and it's a really interesting question because I think that's part of what makes me, potentially asexual sometimes, and my behavior. Like if I'm working and I'm too busy, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to gratify myself because a nice excuse is, hey, who wants to get prostate cancer? You got to come constantly, right?
That's true.
So like,
is that true?
Yeah, they got Ernest Borgnine. I think he recently passed, maybe, but he was like 95. He was on Conan, and he said he masturbated like all the time, every day, and that's what led him to be happy and live that long. You guys remember that a couple years ago? Thank you.
You guys?
Thank you.
We're all going to live forever then.
Last night in Toronto, they wouldn't have agreed. They would have just left me out there hanging.
The Canadian audiences are a little more laid back.
Yeah.
They're not responsive.
They were also super high. It was an apartment.
Also, Toronto, they have the street meat. They have those fucking those carts with the hot dogs and stuff, and it's quite good.
Oh yeah, I had shawarma last night, and I love Zankou. It's right up the street. I go there all the time. I'm a proud member of the Zankou Army. But I went to a place. It said it was Falafel King. It looked like a chain thing, but it wasn't. And I went in there, and they're just very nice. And I had a chicken tiki marsala or something like that. It was good. It was better than Zankou, and I hate to say that. So Toronto is multicultural. It's great. People get along. I grew up here in Los Angeles. People don't get along. I lived in New York. People actually get along in New York. You have to. You're together. I grew up here. Valley, busing. I've been all around. And you were talking about asexuality and things of that. And if you do listen to my podcast, maybe 9 months ago, I did come out on my podcast. I'm 10% gay.
And
thank
15%,
you. Thank you. I went to Bangkok and I pushed it to the limit. You were talking about strap-ons and Adam's apples. I got pulled into the night of Bangkok, and I went there.
You went? Well, let's be more specific, Brody.
I can't be too... Well, you know what? I think the more I talk about it, the more comfortable I'll get with it, and I can really chisel down that story for my one lady boy. My one-man show.
Wait, you had a lady boy encounter in Bangkok?
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to own up to it. Yes.
Good for you.
Three people applauding me. Everyone else, gay bash. 10% gay bashing. But I only call the Bangkok experience because we all go there. If you ask, that is almost accepted over there. So I count that. It's like a 4%.
Now, did you go out in search of the ladyboy experience, or did the ladyboy find you by accident? Was it?
Well, you go, you hang out. I was over there working on a project, and you hang out and you go. It's very, it's a nice culture. They're very outgoing, massage and haircut late at night, all that stuff. Like, it's a good vibe. So you go to these clubs.
I could go for a late night haircut. And then a hand job from a guy named Kim.
No. Oh, it's funny. Funny you should. I'll tell you about that off camera. It's funny you should say Kim, but I'll get back to
Why is that?
Well, it's a code word for something that I'll tell you off camera, off mic.
Look, if you're coming on to me, just fucking get it out.
No, I'm not. I'm not gay like that. See, it's not that way. They're talking about, do I see a guy like whoever you're talking about, like, oh, he's got great legs and great chest, and I want to kiss his his thick, his beard. No, I'm not into that. All right? So that's not what a lady boy is. Thank you. Because they take hormones. Now... So I went over there to see, all right? And I walk around, I see my mannerisms. You know, I got picked on a lot because I was a nice guy. Like, I'm a happy guy. And kids are cruel. And I grew up here in the Valley, a Jewish kid. I should have been sheltered by Hebrew school.
You sound like you're from Chicago. How'd you get that?
Well, I was in Toronto over the weekend. I think that I think the Chicago jet stream.
You don't sound like you were raised in California.
I know. I've heard that a lot. I grew up in the Valley. I think because I'm kind of nasally, I always would get New York. New York City. I lived in Brooklyn for 3 years. Williamsburg, L Train before it got hip. I was there. All right, 3 years in Seattle.
Right,
okay, sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
So you're fucking this lady boy.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. If I did that, that ain't so bad. That ain't so bad. I watch Locked Up Raw. It ain't that bad.
Nobody at Harmontown is going to judge you.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like first three of those are with
no.
But you know how hard that is? I mean, it's... I'm okay with it. And then I'll tell you what. I came back to the mainland. And I went a little further just to see that line and maybe go over it.
What did that entail?
There was a hotel in Hollywood, and freaks you out, doesn't it, people?
No,
freaks you out.
Brody, nobody.
This is why people stay in the closet.
Brody,
I'm 10% gay.
Brody,
and it's scary.
Brody, you're 50% gay.
No, I'm not, Jeff. How dare you,
Brody? This audience is so accustomed to hearing so much worse and so much more bizarre.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I play baseball. I just feel like it's going to come back
to be gay. It's
me.
okay to be gay, Brody.
I'm saying it's okay, but I told you I'm not into hand holding. I'm into human love.
That's good.
So
what happened at the hotel?
Kim. Excuse me.
Kim.
AK. I can't give the name away, but you know what? I'll tell you what. The TS community. I'm very active in the TS community.
What's TS?
Transsexual.
Oh, okay.
And
when you say active in the community, what do you mean?
I just like saying that. Because you know what? It's very popular. If you were to go back in the day, my friends ran Taboo Video up in Seattle, which was the #1 grossing adult video store in Seattle. This is right before DVDs started coming out. And the #1, and probably to this day, if you ask the guys who still make it, the #1, it's TS stuff. That's the #1 thing for whatever reason.
Does that mean like chicks with dicks? Is that?
Yeah, that's what it is. Because you see a breast, and you're into that, and you're into this face and the hair. They look good. They're like, there's no problems. And then you go, is it a girl? I don't know. I'm in Bangkok. Something got shaved down. Is this, you gotta it's the 60s all over again, just, it's rock and roll. I'm a comedian. I felt like I had to kind of do that to share that story with you as a guy who wants to move on and...
Don't bring us into it. It was
Jeff!
I mean, it's like you're following some sort of trail. Like you're certainly going down some sort of road. I think that as you age and as you progress, your fetishes do kind of start meandering towards like more specific things. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, but today I was in Starbucks, and I was sitting there, and I saw a girl with a nice butt, and I just wanted to put my face in it, and I confirmed to me right there, I'm not. What gay guy wants to put his face in a girl's butt? I did. That just confirmed to me. There's my 90%.
We didn't say that you were gay.
Well, I am 10%. I will stick with that.
I'm going to put it at 48.
Are you? I mean, 48.
48.
Is this a new segment? It's like guessing someone's weight. Are you gonna work at a carnival and just?
Dan's only at 22.
Okay.
The percentage thing is it raises interesting questions because how do you go? Because it all has to do with the amount of repression in the society that you're in the context of. Because if you're in a society that, for instance, views sexual preference as a binary dichotomy, then that puts a lot of significance on on the difference between 49 and 50%. Because I'm assuming, just being sort of a computer programmer of old, but if you're living in an open field after some kind of nuclear holocaust and everyone's just running around in deerskin togas and using bottle caps for money and there's no more there's no more magazine covers or search billboards to kind of drive home anything, then the difference between 20% and 30% is what? I mean, we don't even I will definitely agree. Like, what in the world would be the meaning of 100% heterosexual? I think so. Whatever that would manifest itself as would certainly appear, I would imagine, to be less straight than what we consider straight.
Well, we don't want nobody likes anybody that's overtly masculine, or we don't like people that are overtly feminine. We don't like she's being such a girl right now, or a guy who's being such a guy. I'm a damn fucking dude, chicken wings, fucking yeah. We don't like that, and we don't like, oh my god, go to the mall shopping. We don't like that either. And so we don't like. I won't say we. I'll say I. Like when you meet a gay guy, let's say, and he's really queenie, that wears you out pretty quickly. It's like enough with the femininity thing. Like temper that a little bit. Like the more towards the middle you get, the more complete of a person you become.
Sure.
We don't want to see a really butch lesbian going,
I
don't fucking walk my dog. How about be a woman too while you're being a man? Like a little bit lean towards the middle. And I would say towards all things. Like see both sides of everything and kind of combine the beauty that is masculinity and the beauty that is femininity.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look at I think nature goes in bell curves. Like I think that's probably penning things in too much too, but that's an easier way to understand things. That if a frog lays 1,000 eggs, then you're going to look at there's a bulge in the center of the survival eggs, and then there's fringe eggs that don't survive for one reason and fringe eggs that don't survive for another reason. Everything goes in a bell curve. So IQs, there's not a lot of incredibly stupid people. There's a bunch of people in the middle that are running everything, and then there's not a lot of incredibly smart people who are all here tonight. But sexually,
give yourselves a round of applause for being.
If you think of sexuality as a bell curve, then I would assume, I think what you're saying that 100% straight means actually some kind of weird weird thing where you're so straight you're not even human.
Yeah.
Because the bell curve would probably be, well, if I put my penis through a hole and I don't know what's sucking it, and then later I find out it was my friend Kevin. In other words,
2%. That's an ad.
I imagine that those of us in the middle are people whose sexuality doesn't define us so much that it prevents us from doing other things. The same way that an incredibly sober person whose sobriety defines every conversation they have is just as annoying as a fall down drunk who you can't trust to.
Yeah, and there's nothing more fascist than a hippie. Like a really hardcore hippie can be the most fascistic, most dogmatic asshole you'll ever talk to.
Yeah.
Like temper a little bit. Like see both sides of it. It's hilarious. Like in NASCAR, once in a while for breast cancer awareness, they'll paint one car pink, and there's people that are really bummed out about it. It's like, oh, pink car, goddamn. I'm not a man anymore. I'm like, I can't look at a pink car go in a circle. If you could like the color pink a little more, you'd fuck your wife a little better and fucking take it easy.
I wear polarized Ray-Bans. Every white car is pink.
You're back down to 10% again.
There you go, back down.
Are you sure you didn't wash your white car with a pink bicycle? A red bicycle. God damn it, I fucked up.
Pink bicycle.